funny, Charles. The curtain in the hotel in Decatur looks the same as Vermont.
Well, no, the simple approach, Jason. Remember, I told you I was, it was actually Wyoming, and I was, outside living under a trash compactor, and I just was able to get this beige thing, plastic thing was in the garbage, so I just brought it with me to Tokyo. Oh, I should have said that. I'm in Tokyo.
Oh, you could have brought that weird curtain that Patrick Byrne had that General Flynn was also sitting in front of, and that I tweeted, hey, isn't that the same hotel that Patrick Byrne was in October? And then they got all pissed off. But I told you that I got kicked off of Twitter again, right, Charles?
You're a recidivist.
I'm a recidivist. I mean, Donald Trump, at least the account is back on Twitter. I don't know if Trump will be back, but definitely Jack Dorsey and various other people did not like it that I've said that evidence I've seen in the public domain makes me confident that Adam Sharp could have, I don't know, this is yet to be verified, my opinion based on public domain evidence, but I think that Adam Sharp helped Jack Dorsey push Evan Williams off the board of Twitter, helped Jack regain control of Twitter and politically weaponize it, but I don't know for sure. Rather than confirm or deny this, Charles, they simply deleted the Twitter account and kicked me off of there. Pretty interesting for free speech.
Exactly, and hence the need for us to be now in First Amendment forum for the foreseeable future.
Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah.
People who watch the show will be able to join us on subscribestar.com/crowdsourcethetruth, patreon.com/crowdsourcethetruth. And Charles, now people can actually use Odyssey and become members on Odyssey and access the First Amendment Forum and other sponsor-exclusive content. You know, the interesting thing about Odyssey, they are also a cryptocurrency company. I'm not really involved. I don't know what the crypto part of it is. But as far as I understand it, they're using it in conjunction with the video server portion of the business. And obviously, if you want videos and there is a token that allows you to interact with the site, it starts to create an ecosystem there that makes business sense. They're not just creating tokens out of nothing that don't do anything and trying to sell them to you in the way that FTX allegedly did. And we're going to talk about that today as we explore tales from the crypto, Charles.
Yeah, I was saying to you, and I'll now share with the viewers before we started, I mean, this truly, the art department deserves maybe a portion of a Bitcoin, or actually some shares of shares in Newmont Gold, or maybe some actual gold. This is comedy gold, Jason. This is comedy, the real deal, ore, as in metal. This is none of this crypto bullshit.
Exactly.
And it is just, I mean, to go back, maybe you disagree with this, but I think for some of the movies, like the Rush Hour movies and the Jackie Chan movies, and so the outtakes at the end, are actually, it's almost funnier than the movie if you've watched the movie, so that you know why they're funny. And similarly, to go back through, the internet, balls.com, and the number of people I know who put $20 million each into balls.com and went spectacularly bankrupt, the internet bullshit, and then the 2007, 8, 9 credit crisis, GE and others like GE, and now this. And really, when you get to meet, as I had the privilege in my banking and investing, professional investing career, when you get to meet the people who handle large sums of money, by that I mean tens of billions, hundreds of billions of US dollars, you, at first, my attitude was, why all these strict processes and controls? Why all this bureaucracy? Why this? Why that? And the sad answer is that because of human nature, there are a lot of scoundrels out there. And who was that guy who said, how do criminals choose where to rob money? They go to the banks because, that's where people have the money, or that's where the
John
money is.
Dillinger, wasn't it?
I think, I knew you'd know, and I forgot the name. Plus, I'm, excuse me, a bit jet lagged. But the fact is that when we'll go into this in the First Amendment forum, the number of tells that this Ortel can talk about in this bankruptcy or lack of bankruptcy filing that we have so far is just monumental. And I'm all for, actually, it was on these many flights that I had to go on to get here. They were packed with little kids and families. And as tired as I now am with jet lag, these little kids were just scrambled. But you look in the eyes of these little kids and they're expressing truth to grown-ups and passengers, and some were really nice and funny. That doesn't mean that you take the little kid, as Herschel Walker said, and let him fly the plane.
Yeah.
Which is
I think Herschel Walker lost, Charles. Sorry to interrupt.
The runoff hasn't happened yet.
I saw something about they were allowing Warnock to win. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, it could be they game it so he's going to win. Yeah, there was some issue about votes that would be allowed, and they lost that lawsuit. But just as Herschel said about, Obama and Herschel were going back and forth, we don't need to hear a lot from anybody who wants to tear down anything and start from scratch, right? I mean, when it comes to established businesses, we don't need to hear about that. Particularly if it's some freak show who probably failed out of the Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus, which is now bankrupt, like FTX, training program to be a clown. I mean, this guy and his family and the team of clowns that are around us, they need to go to prison for a very, very long time.
Yeah. I don't think that will happen. That's my personal speculation, because my feeling is this guy is a cutout, a stand-in, a front man. I do not believe that these unimpressive 29-year-old people could single-handedly come up with this scheme, trick all these super fancy investors and world leaders. This thing to me just reeks of a larger, S&L crisis, subprime mortgage lending crisis, the type of thing that the mainstream news is selling to us as, everybody got fooled. How could they not see this? Blah, 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 blah. I mean, to me, that's nonsense. I really think this is a big, huge, well-planned scam.
Well, again, we'll talk details in a few minutes, but I think there are similarities. Remember, when we got together and did our first broadcast, I think it was on the business model for charity fraud. We need to now think more broadly about the business model for financial fraud. This is very similar, if you think about, to Greta Thunberg, right?
How so?
Greta Thunberg, at her age, did not come up alone with the idea of somehow getting invited to the UN and somehow being able to scold leaders of the UN that was just preposterous. Her parents were very much involved with that.
Right.
And similarly, in this case, Fried's Bankman Fried, no Bankman lied, or whatever we want to call him. Both of his parents are law professors.
Right.
One of them, the mother, is a very active, far left Democratic operative in fundraising. And so this fundraising scheme, I think, is quite similar to Act Blue, to EcoHealth, to the Clinton Foundation. And so there's a lot we can talk about, as I said, and once we get back into the First Amendment forum. But really, the art department deserves monumental. There needs to be a new, universal award beyond the standard award for that kind of a poster, because it's so good.
Well, thank you, Charles. We are actually on the verge of a multipolar art department world, so hopefully something like that can happen. But yeah, I was quite pleased with this Tales from the Crypt, scary weirdo comic book. Sam Bankman-Fried trying to bury the bodies. I don't think he's going to be able to do it, Charles. I think this is a scandal that one for the books, as they say. But Charles, what we're going to do right now is let's make the transition over to the First Amendment forum so that you can share your thoughts freely. People will be able to join us there by going right now to subscribestar.com/crowdsourcethetruth or patreon.com/crowdsourcethetruth or Odyssey crowdsourcethetruth.com. Search for Crowdsource the Truth. Become a member on any of those 3 sites, and you can access sponsor-exclusive content. You're going to be supporting Crowdsource the Truth. And remember, this is a business model that I've been working on for the past 5 years. And it's not just to make money to sustain the business, Charles. I identified very early on that the first line of defense in eliminating inauthentic accounts en masse on the internet is to institute a nominal fee so that honest people who want to access honest information can separate themselves from liars who would create tons of fake accounts to try to manipulate advertisers. I mean, look at what's happening to Twitter and Elon Musk because he wants to try to give people an opportunity to exercise free speech. Now, I'm not sure I agree with his approach. I'm not sure that I agree that he's going to give people the opportunity to exercise free speech, but you can see how the way the internet was, it was set up to prevent that. By becoming a sponsor of Crowdsource the Truth, you're going to be able to join us in the First Amendment Forum, and that is where we will exercise free speech. Join us over there. Thanks for watching, everybody.